Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's get to some stocks on the move. Bloomberg TV markets correspondent Nora Melinda is in the house, and she's looking at some of the stocks on the move really this week overall. So let's get to what we're seeing.
It has been a busy week and a busy month. If you're just looking at the historic records that we hit on a monthly basis, you were seeing that it's a really strong month and week. But I do have some names for you that didn't perform so well. So let's look at shares of Fiserv. This is ticker FI. Shares tumbled 47% this week. They did end higher at Friday's closing bell, but that clearly wasn't nearly enough to offset the 44% plunge that we saw for the stock on Wednesday. This is after the company slashed its outlook for full year earnings and unveiled third quarter results that left a lot of Wall Street analysts confounded here. So you did see a bunch of sweeping changes at the company, top leadership being moved around, a replacement for the CFO here, and a promotion of a chief operating officer, but to be co-president of the company. But it seems as though they just really took a beating here this week. Wall Street clearly not happy, and you're definitely seeing the trade reflecting that on the week.
That was such a wild, that is a wild story. It was such a wild stock move. Alexandria Real Estate, ticker ARE. What's going on this week?
Yeah, so this is a REIT, of course, can't escape them. Ticker ARE. We did see shares down about 25% over the past 5 sessions alone. This is after it cut its adjusted funds from operations guidance, and this is for 2025, and it posted third quarter results that fell short of expectations. We had Cantor Fitzgerald calling the report, quote unquote, as tough as it gets, so I guess it can't be any more clear than that. Shares of Alexandria Real Estate down more than 40%, though, on the year. So it really has been a challenging year here for this company.
God, what a smackdown.
Yeah.
Speaking of smackdowns, should we go talk burritos?
Let's talk burritos.
Love to chat food. Clearly not a great week, though, for Chipotle. We did see this stock in the red for the 6th day in a row. It shed 23% just in the past 5 days. Of course, we know this is really about the concern about a lot of diners pulling back on spending here. They talked about beef prices increasing, tariff concerns. It just sounds that there's so many headwinds here. And you see Wall Street is clearly believing this to be true. So we did see, of course, Shake Shack also reporting and not really getting really positive outlook here. A lot of warnings here about trouble among younger consumers, which I find to be particularly interesting here. But it sounds like, people are on a budget. I mean, weeks ago or months ago, they were talking about the portion sizes of what Chipotle was offering. And there were a lot of people hammering down on social media, and they definitely responded to that. So it seems as though the consumer really leads the trend here.
We had a great conversation with Red Brown, I feel like, about 2 companies that were in the news big time this week, Chipotle and Starbucks. Both, Chipotle used to be run by Brian Niccol, the CEO. He's now at Starbucks. But just interesting in terms of what we're seeing for those 2 companies.
And to Nora's point, too, about younger consumers pulling back, there's a great read on the Bloomberg terminal. You should check it out this weekend. it's by Charles Gorobin and Reed Pickert. They cover the economy. Chipotle and Shake Shack warn of trouble among younger consumers.
Yeah. You know what's interesting, though? I'm looking at the A&R page on Chipotle.
Yeah.
0 sells. 28 people saying buy and 11 saying hold, but nobody has a sell
So this
rating.
is the analyst recommendations page available on the Bloomberg terminal. You can look at the calls that current analysts have, and they're all okay with it.
Analysts rarely put a sell rating
There's
on a
hedge
company.
short. Yeah. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Sorry.
Rarely put a sell rating. But it's a great question, because I do wonder, it's like, at what point do you be like, well, wait a minute, there's some problems.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.